Today we're going to give a try on the most complicated oil recipes in this game so far. If you can handle these recipes, you are a truly fix-it employee and you can call yourself a Satisfactory master. Welcome everybody, I'm Papa Snusi and it's another beautiful day in the Satisfactory department. Welcome back. If you haven't seen last episode, we pumped that black gold all up in my base and we are truly so high, I can't believe. We're close to reaching the point where the fog is coming all up to us. And that worries me a bit, because if we go further up, I have to turn down the fog, and I think the game doesn't look that a little bit better, but hey, it is what it is. I will turn off the fog. No worries, look at all the pumps. I can't remember the number of pumps we placed here. Somewhere over the 300 mark, and it's just amazing. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna approach something. We are gonna approach the most complicated recipes in the game, what the oil department goes. And you know, every of these pipes do pump up 300 crude oil per minute in these storage tanks here. And I did a little miscalculation. We bring up way too much oil. But that's not really a problem, right? We have just some oil left up here at the end of the day, so no problem at all. So the plan for today is as that we're gonna turn crude oil into just plastic and a little bit of rubber, and for that we need these recipes. We turn crude oil into the polymer resin and heavy oil residue with this alternate heavy oil residue recipe. From that, the polymer resin gets combined with water into plastic. Then the plastic gets with the fuel into recycled rubber. And at this step here, we can double our plastic into rubber. 30 input, 60 output with just some fuel, and the end of the assembly line we take the 30 rubber into 60 plastic, so that don't just double the output, it gets 3 times the output. But where we get that fuel from? That first recipe makes the heavy oil residue, and if we select the alternate diluted packaged fuel recipe here, we take the heavy oil residue, combining it with water and make some diluted packaged fuel. Of course, we have to unpackage the fuel before we can use it, because we need the liquid. And that is where the rest of my packaged water comes into use, and then we finally use up all the 12,000 water per minute we bring in. I hope I did my calculations right, ladies and gentlemen. That was how many episodes ago? Way too long ago. We will see. So for all this madness, I'm gonna take a little bit of help with all these recipes, and this is the spreadsheet for it. So we take in the 300 crude oil per minute and feed 10 refineries for the heavy oil residue. Then the polymer resin goes in these 5 refineries to make some plastic. I know that says rubber, but it's gonna be plastic. And the heavy oil residue gets split into 2 pipes and feeding these all refineries. And that whole spreadsheet is all refineries. Yes, you heard right. Bruh. These are making all the diluted packaged fuel, then unpackage the fuel to get in some pipes. This 5 unpackager goes into all these refineries to make the recycled plastic recipe. These 5 unpackager go into the rest of the recycled plastic recipe, and 4 of them get turned back into these machines with a third of the other line. Oh, so complicated. And makes recycled rubber. This rubber gets turned into these machines and we make the output ×3. So to speak in short, we take the oil, make a little bit of plastic, turn it into rubber, double it, turn it back into plastic, double it again, and we have a lot more output. And at the end of the day, we should have somewhere around 900 output per one set, per 300 crude oil. And I hope this works. So stay until the end of the episode and we will find out. Now I'm gonna make a set of these in game and I catch you there. Okay, just connect the last power line and I have a set done. Oh my freaking god, that was a lot of work. I placed down some refineries you won't imagine. You won't imagine. And to truly show you that, I just have to fly. I'm sorry, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Ha! So many refineries. So cool. So let me quickly fly you through that. Okay, the first recipe, the heavy oil residue and makes polymer resin. Is this 10 refineries? That polymer resin goes in these 4 refineries, making residual plastic with some water. The water will come in. Oh no, forgot to turn on the water. Oh, Papa is screwed up. Hey, there's coming the water and it should unpackage the water here in this one refinery. And then we have water on this side. Yes, perfect. Residual plastic. Remember that plastic in a little bit, okay? On the other side, the heavy oil residue goes in these machines to make the diluted fuel. Unfortunately, just packaged, and we have to unpackage that one refinery later. With this, packaged fuel takes in and spits out the fluid. Perfect, just one cycle there. And on the other side, we have the fuel, remember? On the other side, we take that plastic. There's coming another belt in, but more to that in a minute. And we take that plastic to make the recycled rubber recipe. So double it the first time. Of course, all starts when we get the fuel, but we're gonna get there. These refineries make some rubber. The rubber gets turned on this belt, collected on this belt, and goes into the last step to make the recycled plastic. And again, 30 input, 60 output. We double it again once we get the fuel and the rubber. I hope this works. I hope I didn't screw up more somewhere. I mean, if we place so many things, yeah. The potential to screw up. Ha! Threw up. What the? Papa, come on. The potential to screw up at some point is very, very high. And don't you worry about these power poles here. There's gonna be a roof for the next floor. Okay. I think I let this run a bit. See if it works. But that will just take a second for you. Okay, I'm back. I let it run a bit, maybe half an hour or so, and it seems to work pretty fine. I have some hiccups here and there. This refinery is not getting enough plastic from time to time. That's a little bit of an issue. And the biggest issue I had, ladies and gentlemen, on the spreadsheet, the spreadsheet says to make most rubber out of 300 crude oil, right? With plastic, it's different. It's very different because we take the polymer resin here and remember that number 60 per minute to make 20 plastic. If we take the other, what the spreadsheet says, the residual rubber, it takes 40 to make 20. So not that much output, so less output of plastic with this spreadsheet and this recipe thingy. Residual plastic takes 60, so it takes 20 more a minute, and that's a really bad issue. Did I just gave out a, a freaking rubber? Yeah, look at that. There's rubber in. Oh no, Papa. So fixed it. Okay, that means these machines don't come up to the calculations, so I had to change it a little bit, and we are not getting 900 plastic output yet. That's just not happening. With the change of this recipe, oh come on, Coffee Stain, that's so freaking sad. You know, why have they changed that? Residual plastic takes 60 polymer resin. Residual rubber takes 40. Why is that a thing? Oh wait, 40 water? 20 water. Yeah, it's using less water but more polymer resin. Why is that a freaking thing? It's complicated as itself. Look at that. Freaking look at that. Why do you have to change this recipe? Oh my. But we have to deal with it. That's maybe the fun of it, of the whole thing. I don't know. First it bothered me, but now I did work out the numbers, so it's okay. It's okay. We just get less output at the final output there. So one more problem I had was that this last refinery don't get enough rubber from time to time. I have to let it run a little bit more, I think. And for the first time for the crude oil, the outside refineries here, this one and the last one there, didn't get enough oil, so I had to split them evenly, and that is what we came up with. So there's the main input here gets split into these two refineries and over there into the three, and on the other side exactly the same, and it looks kind of cool. But yeah, it uses exactly 300 crude oil per minute, and the flow rate on the pipes here is not 300. That bothers me as well. Maybe I have to pump it up a little bit in between here. As you can see, it is not really full. Here's it even lower at 100 throughput. I have to investigate that problem a little bit more, but it's looking not that bad. That bad. 1 or 2 tweaks here and there, and we should be good to go. Now let me count the exact number. We are outputting plastic here, so the refinery makes 60 plastic, and these are 14 refineries. Yeah, that makes 840 plastic, and on the other side here I have this machine. It makes 48 a minute. It gets split, and half of it goes back into the recycled rubber recipe to make the rubber. So otherwise we don't have enough rubber, as well as this machine and this machine and this machine as well. That's the way it works. So that means 24 on top of that makes 864 plastic a minute. Pretty good number for 300 crude oil. Ooh, it's taking shape. Now we have that spicy plastic out of 300 crude oil. The next step would be just double that. We have a lot of space at the left hand side there, so hold your breath. Et voila! Just in a blink of an eye. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, it is. And don't forget to leave a like. So as I was building the second one there, I discovered the last little problems on my first build. So let me quickly show you these. So I will stay in fly mode, it's just easier to show you that. Okay, first of all, the last machine here that needs rubber was not getting enough rubber. Okay, this one. Now it is fixed, it is totally fixed. My first solution was, well, let them split evenly to the inputs to the machines. So I made this splitting system here. So this first splitter splits it into 3. One of those 3 lines gets splits again into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 machines, and then repeat that with this splitter for 6 machines and this splitter for 6 machines. So evenly distribution system. So, and it worked a little bit better, just a little bit. Then I did approach another thing, and that was the most 2 outside machines here wasn't getting enough crude oil through that whole process. Well, I did split up the input even here, but the last solution I came up with was the pipes didn't get the right throughput. I added a pump here, but it would not help. So my solution was I connected 2 of the storage containers tanks to 1 line, and then I became the throughput. I don't know why that is. Maybe a weird game mechanic or something like that. Technically we used 300 crude oil and it works fine, but I had to connect 2 pipes from 2 storage containers to 1 line. So yeah, we have enough oil on top of here anyway, so I don't care. I don't freaking care. But this input solution here didn't fix the rubber input on these last steps of the machinery at all. So I went back and looked through the whole thingy again, and I had an overflow splitter here. You know, these last 4 refineries here will send back plastic to the refined recycled rubber recipe machines over there. And I thought at the first time, well, if there's enough throughput here, let's send the overflowing stuff back into the main output, so we get a little bit more plastic out at the end. But that was a total mistake, a totally mistake. At the end of the day, my calculations were just right, but I didn't believe or had the trust in them, so you know, no big build without any mistakes, right? Right, okay, it works just fine, and I'm gonna not rebuild this input system on this side. I have the overflowing system here, and it works just fine. It's beautiful and perfectly fine over here. Can you see how the light turns changes when I go a little bit higher? So we're down at this level, then the fog comes out and it gets a little bit darker. Seems like the sun is going away, but no time change. Well, we are so high up. I love it! So what I did on the left side, I just mirrored the build from the right side, with one exception, and this is don't do the mistakes you did on the right side, right? And it works perfectly fine. So we had 864 outputting plastic on this side. Now we double it on the left side, makes in total a amount of 1728 plastic coming out on 4 Mark V belts on this side here. And I will sync them for right now before we use them in the final product. And we're getting a lot of points here. 130,000 per minute. Pretty nice. Let me see what the... Oh, holy hell, these are huge numbers. I think one ticket is somewhere around 4 million points. It's getting expensive, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting expensive. Now for the last steps in this holy helly thing, I need in total 2044.44 plastic a minute for the next steps in my overall goal. And on top of that I need 466.67 rubber a minute as well. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is, well, there's not enough space here to do this, so I need another floor, so I will in and add another floor, and I'm not really sure yet what I'm doing with. I need 317 plastic more and 460, well, up rounded 7, so 467 rubber. What would be the best solution? You know what? I'm gonna make another floor, pump the excessive oil we don't use here another floor up, and then I think I make another set of these, but just with more rubber output than plastic. So I'm going to work that out. Maybe, hopefully it works. So I'll be right back. And welcome back! Look how the items flying around on the belt here. It is just wonderful. And I am so happy because I did it. I just made it. Woo! Here comes the 4 belts from down below from the first 2 sets. Plastic in the awesome sinks, and another set of plastic is right here, in addition with the rubber belt as well. And I did manage to make over 2000 plastic a minute and 467 rubber a minute. Well, it is a little bit more than we need, but hey, I'm just happy with so let me turn on fly mode and walk you through the last step I did. So it is exactly the same build as down below, as you can see here, with one exception, and this is this part of the build. So if you look at the build a little bit closer, there are some missing refineries outputting plastic. And you know, I have 14 refineries outputting plastic on the first 2 sets. But here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're missing 6. And I have on this side here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 making rubber. And with these recipes, it's just that easy. We take the rubber here from the other steps of the whole build and make the recycled plastic, right? 30 input, 60 output. In combination with some fuel, of course. But I don't need that much plastic, I need more rubber this time around. So I place 6 of the recycled rubber recipe, takes an input of 30 plastic, makes 60 rubber. And placed it down just on the front of here. And as we outputting from one refinery 60 plastic out, they are feeding 2 refineries to make the recycled rubber with this recipe. 30 in, 60 out. So we technically double the amount of rubber coming on this belt and leaving that belt over there. Yeah. That's the way these recipes work. And the most important step of this kind of setup is I couldn't just add the recycled rubber recipe machines over here, then we would not have enough fuel. So I removed 6 plastic thingies, added 6 rubber thingies, and the fuel consumption is just right. It's just right, and it's totally working, Oh mama, so cool, so freaking cool. Now if we quickly count these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 60 makes 360 rubber per minute. But wait, Papa, you said you need 467. Oh well, oh well. That coming here, you know, For the recycled plastic recipe, we don't use that much rubber coming on this belt. So we can count down 6 refineries using rubber for the recycled plastic recipe. That makes 180 rubber coming on this belt, and that gives in total 540 rubber a minute. So a little bit more than we need, but hey, who cares, right? Who cares? Oh, I'm so happy I worked this all out. It took me about 10 hours, maybe a little bit more. Didn't look at the time exactly, but that's something around there, and we use all of the freaking water I bring in now. We can't even see the we can't even see the bottom there. We're so high up, it's just incredible. Hey, fuck, go away. Yes, there's my water coming. Hey, fuck, come back on. No water coming. Ooh, mama. Oh, let's do that here. So r.fog0. Oh, it just gets dark down there. And r.fog1, it's a little bit brighter down there. Okay. I have one question for you guys. One question. If you have watched my last, I don't know, 4 episodes, we are working towards something. And the challenge for you guys is, what is my overall goal with all my steps I'm getting through here? Let me know down in the comments down below. I can't wait to see your suggestions. I'm very curious. And if you want to see what we are getting in the end, I highly recommend subscribing for more Satisfactory content like that. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up button so we can spread around this video a little bit. And what I think this is very helpful. I managed to turn 900 crude oil into 1592 plastic or rubber if you like. And hell, that's an efficient way to use crude oil, right? Oh, mama, I love it. There's some little issues with the fluid mechanics, but we have even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pipes left of of crude oil here, and I'm totally honest, I have no freaking idea what to do with them. I think we don't use them. But as we are using, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here 5, 6, and we have another 6. We could even double that. We have so much crude oil on top of here. So if I achieve my goal and I want to double that goal, my overall goal, it's totally possible. I don't have to bring more oil up here. What goes for the other resources? Yeah, that's a whole other story. So, ladies and gentlemen, enough for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. And on this note, I hope I see you in the next episode of Satisfactory with me, Papa Snusi. Until then, see you next one. Bye-bye.